And what I want to do is help the families to very carefully get the bad foods out, because most of them come in eating chicken nuggets. That's just the way it is, I understand. That's the diet, or chips, or it's just terrible. And we want to get nutrient-dense foods into their diet. And I realise it's very tricky. As I said, my little one, who was profoundly autistic, he was just breatharian. That child wouldn't eat anything. He drove me to distraction. So it's hard work. And so in all of the years I spent figuring out how to teach him how to eat, I've been able to condense that down, and we've got it into a 6-week program that we can work through with the parents. So, for instance, one of the foods is broccoli sprouts. I alluded to that a little bit earlier. The broccoli sprouts can downregulate inflammatory cytokines. It can upregulate the vitamin D receptor. It can help in phase 2 detoxification. There's so many things, it's amazing. Now, so then we go on and give people a personalised menu planner that we can I can sort of work out what diet they need. If they have to be low histamine or low oxalate or a SIBO diet or whatever they need, we can screen and take out, if they actually do have any bona fide allergies to shellfish or whatever, we can actually remove that. And so then that gives mum some menu ideas, and you can just click and open up dinner and there's 200 recipe ideas. Now again, I did allude to it a few seconds ago, I can hear you rolling your eyes going, oh yeah, good eye, that's no good, that's not going to happen, they're fussy eaters. I get it, I totally get it. We look at the genes that underpin that. So there are biochemical issues why they're fussy eaters, so we need to fix that. And so in this 6 to 8 month program, we're working on that. So while I'm fixing their gene expression and getting the zinc levels up and fixing all the stuff, that's when we start to play the games with them and we start to improve their relationship with food. And so once we get to that point when we're ready to actually start introducing the foods, we use really big bribes. It's just the way it works. And you can gradually take one pasta twirl off the plate while you're adding one tiny bit of carrot on. And we do this transition over a 6-week period. And eventually you get to the point where, and it works, we've done this with hundreds and hundreds of kids, where we can actually get them onto meats and eggs and fruits and vegetables and broths and ferments. It just takes time. No sudden movements. Do it all really, really slowly and it's all good. Particularly if they're on things like yoghurt, for instance. What we can do is start to make a coconut yoghurt, so it's non-dairy, and make it up on the probiotics that they need, because we will have the answers from their microbiome, what they're missing, microbiome sequence, and the anti-inflammatory probiotics. And so we can ferment some coconut cream up. And so you take a teaspoon of normal yoghurt out and put a teaspoon of coconut yoghurt in. They don't notice, I promise you, they don't notice. And sit on that for a couple of days. And then you put 2 teaspoons of the coconut yoghurt in and wait for a couple of days. And then 3 teaspoons, are you getting where I'm headed with this? So in around about 3 to 4 weeks, don't rush it, I promise you, don't rush it. They, no sudden movements with these kids, they just like things to be the same. But you're just gradually shifting them from dairy to non-dairy, okay? It's all good. We don't want to do it suddenly anyway, because they make the glutamorphines and casomorphines, so they're quite addicted to that morphine hit that they get from having their yoghurt. And if you stop them cold turkey, they're going to go into a withdrawal. That's not a good thing. So you want to just do it nice and slow. And same like with the pasta. You just take off one strand of gluten pasta and we're going to slip in one strand of gluten-free pasta, mix it in. So there are ways that we've got plenty of techniques to help people to transition across while we're changing these genes and some others to help them to be able to not be so sensory defensive and more willing to try new things. The main reason that they won't at the moment is because their genes aren't working properly. So then we want to help heal the gut lining, so we work broth in, and I have heaps and heaps of tricks of how we do that. It's not like making them sit down to a bowl of soup. I understand that won't happen, I get it. Some kids do, but by and large they don't. So there's plenty of ways that we can do that. And then we run workshops on how to make fermented foods that they'll actually like. All right, so it's not a matter of making sauerkraut and hoping for the best that they'll eat it, because let's face it, they won't. Not at first. We can get them onto sauerkraut eventually, but not at first. So if the child's coming in and all they'll eat is chicken nuggets and tomato sauce, we will ferment the tomato sauce, okay? So that they're dipping their nugget in their fermented food. And that's going to help to bring down the inflammation. If all they'll eat is Nutella on toast, fine. We'll ferment the Nutella. And you spread that out over the toast. I promise, you can't tell me something I haven't heard. We can ferment anything, okay? No matter what they eat, I will help you find a way to get a ferment in there, because this is a really critical part of turning up their fire brigade. We have to get that fire brigade working with these probiotic strains. That's what works.